Little Mexico moment here at my end. My electricity's out, so I'm on my phone, unable to charge it. Oh, I mute peeps. I think that's you, Bob. There we go. Um, so yeah, we're having this little Mexico moment. I have no electricity, so I'm hoping I don't run out of phone data or out of electricity in my phone, a little battery before we finish this meeting. But I think you guys are in for something awesome. So, Rebecca, how long have we known each other? Like, I don't know, 6, 7 years?
Oh,
Something.
yeah, somewhere there.
Um, so just so you guys know, Rebecca is a rock star. We both know each other from Travis Sago's world. We're both in his mastermind, and she actually got into this crazy agency world first because she runs a martial arts studio. And if you want to grow and scale a martial arts business, it means you got to open 47 locations, be driving over, exist in multiple states. And she said, fuck that shit. And she started a traditional agency and then found out that it's actually really hard and has since been innovating different things. Like some of you guys know Rebecca as the licensing agency. So they don't like, you don't hire her, you license her materials, and she's used a combination of GHL and UPEX to make it super easy for clients to kind of swipe and deploy without too much thought, winning campaigns. And one of the things that she figured out along the way is that clients suck at closing. And if you want to assist them with the actual sales process, because they're not really after leads, they really want the sales and the cash collected from those leads, that it's way more efficient to get everybody in the room at once, which is how she actually runs her own martial arts studio in San Antonio. Is they run Facebook ads, they get, 10, 20, 30, 40 people into a weekend workshop, and they, sell 40, 50% of the room. I don't know what your actual closing rates are, Rebecca, but that's
Yeah.
how they sign martial arts studios. And so, what everybody else is doing is you got to call the lead, you got to follow up with them 6 times, you got to schedule a 1-to-1 and come in and all this sort of chasing. And we figured out that running workshops is way easier on both yourselves and clients because it gives people a reason to come in the door, and usually local businesses are 1,000 times better once they're face to face. And so it
100%.
bridges the gap to the sales. So she's going to show you guys a little bit of the mojo behind that today. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add to that, Rebecca, but she's cool shit and
Yeah.
like lives this stuff. Just so you guys know, this is not like theory, like where hey,
Uh,
one day she got the evil idea, let's put a course together. This is how she actually fills her own studio and her own agency.
I think that about covers it, but we'll break it down today, guys. I'll show you as Branky's having some Mexico problems over there. My mouse is going in and out. So let's hope that we all get through this okay for the next hour and we don't just totally fall apart, but I think we're going to be fine. Um, So just curious, has anyone here heard about our workshop method before, our licensing workshop method? Just curious. Or is everyone brand new to this whole idea of how we do it? Erin says, yes, you have heard about it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you guys can just type it in the chat if you want.
Yeah, just type it in the chat. Annette, I'm new. Okay, and it's totally cool if you're new. There's no stress. Jimmy, nice. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Chad. I know Chad. Awesome. Okay, so for some folks have heard a little bit about this idea. Derek, I know you're in it. Um, and some are just getting to understand this. Okay, not yours, but conceptually. Okay, Kyle Campbell, no. All right, perfect. So here's my goal today is I want to walk you through the entire process of what we do. And I was telling Frankie that this Friday, actually, I have a B2B workshop in another city. We've committed to doing one a month in every city throughout this whole year. And so last month we were in San Diego. This month we're in Houston. Next month, Austin, then Dallas, then Cincinnati. We're booked through May. So I'm going to show you guys not only how we're using this B2C, but we're also using this B2B as in it's how we are growing our licensing agency as well. So when I tell you this stuff, it's not make believe, it's not thought or ideas. It is actually action and proof of what we are doing and working and filling. filling our businesses, I believe it is 100% AI proof. And that's something, right? Because a lot of folks are scared right now with what AI is going to do and what jobs are they going to take, and it can do everything, and there's robots for everything. There is not a robot for a human to human interaction yet. And that is what we're selling. We're selling human to human interaction. And I'm going to walk you through all of these steps today. And I hope that you can take this idea and roll it into what you're doing already, because it will absolutely serve you. It will absolutely serve your clients, customers, partners, whatever you call them. It's just so freaking awesome.
Can
I'm
I
all
just
at the cuss on
add,
this thing, right?
Rebecca,
Yeah. Yeah,
that
yeah. Go ahead, Frankie.
every agency deals with the whole your leads suck, Finn. They fucking suck. They're all terrible leads, and you're
Yeah.
shit. And like nobody's all serious.
Yeah.
And then you look at the stats, and it's like, oh, they didn't call people back for 3 days and
Mhm.
things like that. And they say dumb shit on the
100%.
phone. And this eliminates a lot of that because you actually get, you'll find that like dentists don't know how to close over the phone, but they know what to do when a patient is sitting across from them face to face. They know how to explain how they're going to fix your teeth. And so half the battle is just getting them in the door, and a free workshop eliminates, like the client hurdle of doing it. And so the benefit for you guys, I think the biggest thing is just not fighting with clients about your leads all suck.
100%. Our friend Sam wrote the book, right? Lead suck. And it's true. It's true, not because your leads actually suck, but because a lead doesn't mean shit. A lead does not mean shit to anyone until it actually turns into a customer. So, let's walk through this because I promise we'll cover all of this. And guys, if you have questions along the way, post them in the chat. I am super hopeful that my mouse doesn't do anything crazy here. But post your questions in the chat so that we can have this conversation and really workshop this together um, today as we're going through this. Okay. So I believe, and it's not just, again, it's not a idea or a thought, it's an actual belief because it has affected my own life and agency and local business. That this workshop model is the easiest way to build a seven-figure agency faster than anything else, faster than AI tools or SaaS or Facebook ads or any of those things. And I'm going to share with you why I believe this today. But first, I want to tell you how I discovered it. So I own a martial arts school. We own a jiu-jitsu school. In fact, we have multiple locations. And way back in 2014, it was April. We were coming up against our summer camp. And Frankie, are you letting folks in or should I be letting them do it?
I got it for now, but if my
Okay, cool, cool, cool. If you leave us, then I'll catch it. Okay, cool. So in our martial arts camp or martial arts school, we had a summer camp in about 30 days where I had hired the staff. We needed 50 kids to run this whole thing of how we do our summer camps. It's a 12 week long program. We bring in a lot of money, over $100,000. Well, for a martial arts school, that's a lot of money in a summer camp. And we had zero campers, zero. And I was like, this sucks. What are we going to do? Because we have about 30 days to fill all of these spots. And so we're brainstorming with our team and we're like, what are we going to do, guys? We can't do one-on-one consultations for all of this. We just don't have the time. And I said, what if we just like got a bunch of parents in a room together and shared with them what we could do? So, without really having an idea of if this could work, we threw some shit up on the wall and we said, like, let's just test this out. So we put out tables and we got balloons and juice boxes and we had these pamphlets and we wrote out the script of what we were going to share with these parents. We had testimonials, we did a class with them. Like we were really just like winging it to see if we can make this work. And a summer camp offer is 2K plus offer, right? It's not like $100 offer. We knew it was high ticket. I knew I had to share some belief with these people. And sure enough, that day, we had 12 families show, and 10 of them went into our summer camp on the first one. And I was like, holy crap, this worked. What have I been missing out on? So we ran these Saturday workshops, which we call them an MDD, Magic Workshop Method. We ran these Saturday workshops until we got to our 50 kids, and then we shut it down. We ran about four of these workshops to get to our 50 student enrollment for summer camp. I didn't have to fire the staff. Summer camp went awesome. Like, holy crap. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this actually happened for me the way that it did. This idea of one to many approach to make your local business thrive. So, what did I do after I figured out that this worked? I kept doing it. I kept doing it and I kept doing it until I ironed out all of the kinks of this process, until we pushed it over to the martial arts schools that we partner with in our licensing programs. And we said, hey guys, use this method. And I'll show you in a little bit how all of the schools that use this method come back and are like, holy crap, we added 7 students. Holy crap, we added another 10 students. Holy crap, I can't believe we just went over the 200 student mark from a workshop. That's all it is. It's not Facebook leads like, oh, here's your Facebook leads, now turn it into a student. It's an entire licensed method of how we are making this work. So, oops, sorry, my mouse is getting away with me. So here's the problem, and let me know in the chat if you've ever dealt with this problem for agencies, is you have, or they'll tell you that you have bad leads. Your leads suck. Has anyone had this come at them before? A client, a partner, be like, dude, your leads suck. Dude, nothing's converting. If only you could hand me good leads. All I get are unqualified bad leads that can't pay for shit. Has anyone ever heard this? No matter how clean your funnel is, no matter how good your AI is, no matter how tested the copy is, you are the problem, is
Never
what the client is
happens.
saying. Never happens, right? Never, ever. If y'all are saying it's not you, we're all liars. All of you are liars because every single one of us has received this message before of only you could send me some qualified leads. So, what's our real problem here? What does a business owner actually want? Now, I'm going to tell you that I stand on the agency side. Okay, so I own a licensing agency, but I also stand on the local business owner side. So I kind of play the devil's advocate sometimes, right? I can understand what is being said because in my business, what actually matters is not leads. What actually matters are new customers. And I'm here to tell you today that workshops solve this problem from lead to customer. Here's how I envision it in my mind is I walk into a local business and I give them this beautiful wrapped box and they're like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's for you. It's a gift." And they're like, "Why do I have a gift?" I'm like, "Because I lovingly want to share this gift to you." And they start to unravel the ribbon and they start to take off the lid of this beautiful wrapped box and out pop customers, like paying customers with their credit card. They're like, "Here, do you accept Apple Pay?" Right? They're like, can I just tap your thingy? Can I just pay you?" And they're like, "How did you do that?" They're almost in amazement that this happened this way because they've never seen it happen like this before. Most folks tell them, oops, sorry guys. Most folks tell them, oh, it's because you don't have any leads. Oh, it's because you're not doing the right marketing. Oh, it's because you don't have the right AI voice answering your phone. And not to say that those things aren't important. And I'm not even saying that those things are not part of what we do. But I don't want to give them
Yeah,
pieces
Rebecca,
of
I
the
would also
house.
throw in the you don't rank high enough on Google.
You don't rank high enough on Google. It's because you don't have an organic presence. Please go throw some money over there and hope and pray that it does something for your business. I don't know about you, but my kids don't eat off of hope and prayer. And they're hungry a lot, like often, like every day. Like I have to feed them every day. So I don't want to be told what I should be doing in my business if you can't actually put some results on the end of that that says, okay, this worked. So, from an agency who sells leads, I'm going to say that the problem is that you're not They don't care about leads because leads are bad if they can't convert them. And 90% of businesses don't know how to convert leads. Is that a hard stat, Frankie? Like, do you think that's true? Let's see if Frankie can come back on. I have
Sorry, I
worked
had to
in,
unlock my screen to mute my phone. I'm trying to conserve battery here. But I would say it's even more than that. I would say, like,
it's a lot.
statistically in most markets, it's like 1 to 5%. You can tell the people who know how to convert because they have a CRM, they've trained their staff, they have scripts, they have a certain number of follow-ups that they have to do, and those are few and far between. And usually when you do like pay per lead, for example, those are all the people who make the best clients. But 90% of them, they know how to convert referrals and warm traffic and word of mouth because that's what they're used to dealing with. But they don't even understand that they have to call internet leads. Like the top lawyers, for example, know that they have less than 3 minutes to respond to an email form fill. And so I have some that, like have tried leads and they'll take 3.5 days. So I would say it's probably like just experientially, it's more like more than 95% don't know what to do with cold leads.
So here's a story for you. I have so many stories, but we have a lawyer client, and I needed something from his office manager. So I was like, let me just call her real fast so I can grab this and I can send it over to Anna and like we can have it all completed. Well, I get their call service. And the call service is like, so and so law firms, may I help you? And I was like, hi, this is Rebecca. I'm just looking for Maria. I just need to ask her something really fast. She knows who I am. That's what I said. She knows who I am. And what was your name? This is Rebecca. And what was your last name? Can you spell that for me? And what is your phone number? And I mean, it was the most annoying 5 minutes of my life. And I was like, this is who you have answering your phones? I just want to hang up and call the next person, but I needed to talk to Maria, so I had to go through this mumble jumble. But this is what most businesses look like. Like, this is what most businesses look like. So, when you can actually just give them customers, you literally change their world. Like, literally change their world. So, what's happening here? Leads don't make you money. I tell people this all the time. I also tell people, like, I am not your leads girl. If you think that I'm just going to come over here and, like, be your, business savior slash leads girl, like, that's not me. And I will never be that, nor do I want to be that because that's not actually what you want. Okay. Um, we look at this from a lead to a customer, right? We have a conversion line from I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't trust you, to moving them to like maybe this could help me, to moving them to okay, I'm making the commitment to buy this product or service, to the transaction, right? At customer. And that is just when the journey begins. Like at transaction it just begins, but that's a whole other conversation. So if we know that leads don't make us money from opt-in to prospect, right? These are two different stages on this conversion line. A lead is like, here's my information. A prospect actually becomes somebody who is qualified and actually really knows that they need in some way your product or service. And now, or nower, is the time to consider this purchase, right? Because how many times do you get a lead in the funnel that says, oh, I'm looking for this 6 months down the road? Like at this moment of time, that lead is unnecessary. Like we'll get to them in 6 months, but right now, that lead is not going to become a customer unless we can figure out the time problem and fix it for them. Okay. So, number one, leads don't make you money because there's still a journey from lead to customer, guys. And I'll tell you that AI is not filling this gap. It can ask questions, it can have a conversation, but it's not filling the full gap from lead to customer. Does that make sense to everyone? Like I want to make sure we clearly understand this because when I really got
Morning.
intelligent about how the conversion
Morning.
line worked, like my whole life changed in a sense. I'm gonna open up the chat here. Alex says makes sense. Aaron says I agree. Okay, cool. So you guys
You
are
hanging out with him? So
understand
you
on
taking
it.
him? Oh, I was gonna leave him here.
I'm gonna mute somebody. Um, so if you come in and you actually, Bob says yes, definitely. Yes, I agree. Okay, I'm so glad you guys understand this. So instead of being the hated agency bro, and I have been that person before, okay? So like don't take any offense to it. I've been in that shoes. It's horrible. It's stressful. You want to fix all the things, but you don't know how. So instead of being the hated agency bro, now you become the hero because you're actually giving them what they want. And
Okay.
we're like totally bypassing all the things that don't matter to them. So here are some clients of ours. I call them partners, but you guys probably call them clients. So I had a little over 50 people show interest with the closed, 30 RSVP'd, 16 showed. It ran smooth, better than I thought the first one would go. They had 16 people show. I think they converted half of them in that particular workshop. Oh, here it is. Overall, I thought it was a good thing for the school, way better than when I was paying people to run ads. Bam, that's exactly what we hear all the time. I wasn't getting that many responsive leads in a month when I was paying $1,250 a month for that guy or, whoever was running ad for them. This was $70 in cost and way better leads. Hey Rebecca, here's how the first workshop went. 36 people clicked interested, one child was too young, 14 confirmed coming in response to Facebook, one family confirmed originally didn't show, 16 kids made it to the mats, one was too shy, seven signed up, Facebook ads just over 75, snacks $50. I know you guys are probably thinking, how'd you do that with 75 bucks? Yes, we used to be able to do that. It's a little more expensive now. Here's another one. So we ended up having a really good show rate, 21 of 28, and five of those were referrals from one particular student that I wasn't super confident they would show anyways. We're super happy with how it played out. We ended up signing 9 students, which was incredible for us. Now we are at 98 students and are so close to that 100 student mark, I can taste it. That's some really good marketing to use. Also, 2 more students signed up from our last workshop today, so 11 new students from four workshops, totaling $200 spent, $18 cost per sign up. Notice that she didn't say cost per lead. Cost per new student was $18 from this workshop. Guys, that's insane. That is insane. Mauricio says, totally agree. So can you start to see why not only have I experienced and continue to experience how workshops work for me, but how they work for local businesses in general? And these are just a few screenshots that I grabbed for you today. I have so many of these same types of experiences from martial arts schools to medical spaces. We've done these in feet stores. We've done these in med spas. I mean, all types of different local businesses where we can bring in a prospect to the local business or the clinic or, get them on the mats in a jujitsu academy and making this happen. In fact, we even have some that are like lunch and learns, right? We've done this in solar. We've done this in the ED space. We've done this, in the dental implant space. We have somebody doing it in the sleep apnea space right now. It goes on and on and on because human interaction will never die.
Can I just say,
Like,
Rebecca, I got some questions. Did you say ED, like erectile dysfunction?
yeah, that's what I said.
A bunch of dudes in a room who can't get it up, and you have a workshop together?
It's that's
That's the
correct.
that's the best news I've heard all day.
Yeah, that's correct. Um, so this is why I'm so pumped about this stuff, guys, because not only is it effective, but in my world, like my whole line and mission always is keep it simple, stupid. And the way we build this is so simple. Most folks are like, this can't be it. Like, can we complicate this shit? And I'm like, no, do not complicate this shit. Keep it simple, stupid because that's where the magic actually happens. This is how we can license it. This is how we can duplicate it easy. This is how we can get results for many local businesses without feeling like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. Okay. So that's the trick. Okay, so there's 3 simple steps to this, guys. And again, magic workshop method is what we call it when we're doing it in martial arts schools. We have now coined this since we went to, local businesses everywhere, the Main Street Profit Machine, but I still use MWM because, it's old school. So we have 3 steps to this. Fill it, run it, close it. That's it. Fill it. Let's get the folks in the room. Run it. Let's give them the actual assets to run the whole thing without having to use much of their own brain power. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They don't want to use their brain power. They just want to get to the end, which is close it where people turn into customers. Okay. Um, Christian says, what do you do when you throw an amazing workshop with an amazing offer and still not enough people convert to cover the cost? Um, that's where you have to look at your cost analysis because if the offer is more like not good enough to cover it, then there's like it's backwards. But we can talk about that later. But yeah, there's a way to fix that. So fill it, run it, close it. Now I'll tell you guys, and there's different theories on this. I'm not going to tell you that one is right or wrong. There's just different ways. This is my own way. We spend, I think the highest workshop budget we spend is $500. But in most cases, these are pretty low budget. Now, is Facebook a bitch sometimes? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We all know this. Do we do our ads on Facebook for workshops? Yes, we do. We have tested Google. When I crack that code, I'll let y'all know how that is. I love Google for a lot of things. It's not for workshops. And we'll also use their list. So if they have leads lists that we can be resourceful with and get more people in the room for them because they're not going to do it on their own, we'll 100% use their list. So we have a low budget for this, $200 to $300, but we've even spent up to $500. Full disclosure, 50% show rate. That's the amount of people that we get in the room. So if 20 RSVP, you're going to get 10 into the room. I have looked at the stats over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every once in a while, it'll be a little bit higher or maybe a tad lower, but I'm always averaging to this 50%. We license to them the fill it system. Okay. So they get license to how we're making this happen. They don't get ownership. If they're not working with me, they can't use it again. They're renting it for their events. Okay. So I want to make sure to be clear on that. And just so you guys know, in Main Street Profit Machine, I kind of sprinkle in licensing. It's like when your mom tricked you how to eat your vegetables, because licensing is the best and easiest way to build an agency. And then we use their database to increase the attendees. So we get them to opt in, we convert them or we confirm them to save their spot. We'll do some pre-selling before the event. Maybe that's with a PDF of a story, testimonial. Maybe it could be with a survey, finding out exactly information that you need to know for this prospect. We want the business owner to look at this RSVP list and just almost be in awe of how you got the right prospects into the room for them. We'll have the business owner receives a PDF or a spreadsheet, like a Google sheet, and it'll say symptoms, and it'll say what that prospect is dealing with. And they're like, holy crap, how did you get 25 RSVPs of all of these types of people when I've paid agencies thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and never been able to get this done before? It's pretty damn amazing. Then we move into running it. And let me go back. Hold on, let me just go back. I'll pause for a second. Does anyone have any questions on the idea of filling it? Oh, we're just filling the room with the prospects that they want. Um, what about filling rooms with affiliate databases? Um, I think you could do that. I don't see why you couldn't. You use LinkedIn and invite 1,000 of your connections. Would we be doing this to get agency clients or to get clients for our clients? I'm in the med spa space. Eric, good question. I use it for both, and I'll give you more of that tea towards the end once we get through all of this. This is how we use it for our clients to get clients, but I use the same damn thing to actually fill my licensing agency as well. As I said, this Friday, I've got an event that is happening in Houston, Texas. Annette says, I have a kids' dance school client. She asked for help to fill her hip hop course, 12 to 16. They all left because of changing schools. How would you make sure to fill the room with teenagers? Qualify for age. Like make sure in the ad copy you say what ages it's for, and then when they opt in, confirm that it's the right age. What if her costs are very low? You mean like her ad spend? Oh, her. Oh, then I would. So that's a whole other agency convo that Frankie's probably had with you guys before. It's much harder to work on small margins. Like I don't want to do that. Like if you're like, oh, Rebecca, okay, but when they come through, I'm just going to charge them $50. I'm like, I can't help you because what you're going to get is going to be less than the cost for the workshop. And like, that's not the goal unless you know the lifetime value is going to be insane and you don't care about the first initial cost of acquisition. Could you use in this in the contractor space, electricians, roofers, plumbers to sign up for agency services? So, Alex, there's tons of space in the home services. What I find with electricians and plumbers is that a lot of times it becomes like a more emergency thing or items that they're bidding on. So that's a little tricky there. But in home services, like we've used this for like the window, the pull down things on the porch where like it encloses a porch. Pool contractors have used this. Lighting, the LED lights during Christmas time, we have used this. So lots of home services that it can be used for.
Yeah, I would just
Could
add
you?
as a simple rule, if it's an emergency thing, like, hey, my toilet's overflowing, you got to get here
Yeah,
fast, probably not. If it's
yeah,
anything else, which they all have services that fit into the anything else, then you can definitely do a workshop on it. If it's anything that's not like this yesterday when you need it, it'll work in a workshop.
100%. And don't think that high ticket things can't work at a workshop. Like hot tub sales, like, $10,000 plus totally can work. Could you use this for SaaS signups?
Yeah.
Cr- I mean, I don't see why not, but I don't know if I understand the full question. But I can try to answer it later. Hold on, guys, let me try to get them in. Okay. Well, here's the thing is I want to put together as many pieces, and when I say as many, I mean like 99%, if not 100% of the whole damn thing. So when a new business comes into our workshop agency, we give them a lander that's password protected, so it's black boxed, and it says step one, print script. Here's the script that you or your team will follow through. And we give them a 3-minute video of exactly what's important on that script, how to use tonality, like do you need to memorize this piece or like can you just read it from a clipboard or something like that. Step two, play video. And we have a pre-built video sometimes or a pre-built slideshow for them, and they just put it on their screen, go through the slides or press play, let the video do the selling for them. Step three, hand out assessment forms, right? Let's find out where the pain points are for your prospects in the room. And they'll start to take them through these assessment forms and talking about the pain and the problem. Step four, we call them Costco samples, right? Any demonstration you can actually do in the room. Oh my God, it does the selling for you. Have you ever seen the water filters where the guy comes into your house and he says, "This, here's your water," right? Pours it out of the fountain, tests it, and then shows you how disgusting it is. And then he says, "Here's my water with all his clean water purification, filtration stuff," and it's like clear, like water should be, and this one's like brown. And then he's like, "Which one do you want to drink?" And you're like, clear water, please. I don't want to be feeding my children mud water. Like, can we please have the clear water? And they're just like, that's the sell. Like, that's literally the sell, right? This is the new exciting way forward. And so Costco samples, right? That's how I think of it because my 4 kids, we go to Costco, they get all the samples, and then we buy all the Costco food from the samples. Um, we pack this run it thing not with unnecessary items, but with exactly the items that we need to get the conversions in the room. That's our goal. And our goal is to get 50% conversions. So if 10 people show up, we want 5 of them to become customers with all the assets that we license to them to actually run the event. How do you make the event attractive enough for people to show up? That's easy, honestly. We have tools, GPTs that write these ad copies for us, and once you actually know your market, then then it just becomes really, really easy to write the ad copy.
The answer to
100%.
that too is also an offer. It's not like just, hey, come to an event for the sake of coming to it. I'm assuming like in your martial arts studio, it's like, you're gonna get a free lesson or your kid's gonna be able to beat up the bully or whatever it is. Like there's a reason you're giving them to come to the event. Like they're gonna learn something, benefit, gain some insights, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Um, and then we close it. We actually give them the offer sheet. Most of the time, businesses don't know how to price their services. This happens all the time, like all the time. So we actually give them offers to give at the workshop. A lot of people ask me like, well, how do you figure out what that is? Well, you ask them what their offer is. Their offer sucks and you make it better. Um, and then you just license that thing over and over. Again, this comes with some market research because you know what is happening in that market. And does this mean that like if they don't do it 100% exactly like you do it, like maybe they have an adjustment somewhere, that's okay, but you want it to be as close as it can be so that that workshop actually makes money for them. I don't want them to go backwards on a workshop. I want them to go forwards on a workshop. So again, we license the offers to them, the offer sheets, whatever tools that we give them to us. Um, we oh, so sorry guys, my mouse just went crazy. Uh, we don't just allow them to run it without knowing what the offer is going to be at the end because we want to make sure that it benefits the business and that we have an ROI, right? We also want to make sure that it's an easy yes offer. How many times have you seen businesses pull out the Chili's menu, as I call it, with 1,000 different ways to get started? And they're just like, oh my Lord, I don't know what to pick. Never mind, I'm not hungry. They close the menu, they say no thanks. We don't want that. We want easy yes offers. And we love what I call golden tickets. Golden tickets are day of sales. It's a deadline. Hey, because you are here today, this is what I have for you. If you want to get started tomorrow, that's no problem. The golden ticket won't be available at that time. So it's not, we use it as a mechanism. We don't make them the bad guy for it. We just let them know that to get started today is very advantageous for you. That's why we have them there. We're very clear at the beginning of the workshop that at the end of the workshop, we're going to give them a special offer to get started or to continue or to get said med spa service, whatever it is. So we're not trying to be shady or manipulate them in any type of way. We're 100% clear on the whole darn thing. And then, as I said before, what this allows you to do and what I loved that I was able to do when building Main Street Profit Machine was building it like a licensed service agency, which so many folks go awry here. This is where work becomes super heavy. It takes over your life. You feel like you are indebted to all of these businesses. You have to be their business savior. You have to be their leads girl or their leads guy. Like all of the weight of the world is on you. And that is not how I roll. So in Main Street Profit Machines, we built it as a licensing service agency, which means that we're kind of tricking you into building licensing, which is really, really fun. Frankie knows about licensing. Frankie loves licensing. He knows the beauty of it, how it works, how it makes our lives easier, how we make more money from all of these royalties that we build all of the time, because now it's not a one-off payment ever. Like, I don't do custom work. I'm allergic to it. Like, it'll
Yeah.
send me into a tailspin.
What you guys are doing with licensing is renting access to your winning materials instead of I work for you. And it changes the
Mhm.
dynamic because the deliverable is the stuff instead of, hey, give me a call. I got a meeting. I need to talk to you right now. That kind of shit disappears in licensing. For that reason, you have like so much more leverage. It's like, no, no, I have a workshop method. You can buy access to it every month.
100%. So they rent from you every single month. So it's taking $100 bill and legally selling it over and over and over and over again as many times as you want. With an actual rental property, you can have one renter in there. With digital rental properties, you can have as many renters as you want. And that's how I look at this, is how many renters can we get for this one workshop? And is it viable? Can we spread it? Can we share it? Can we duplicate it? If we can't, well then let's kill it because this is how we build licensing and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I hope that doesn't like totally go over your head, but once you understand it and learn it and implement it, it changes your world. So let's just quickly do the math here. And I'm so glad that Frankie hasn't died on us yet. His phone is sticking with us. Um, Imagine this. Imagine 10 businesses paying you right now $1,500 a month. That's 15,000 in passive income. We're building passive income from this, guys. The beauty of how we set this up, yes, we use Go High Level, is like it's light work. It's not heavy work. We're not always having to reinvent the wheel. We're just duplicating this workshop, whatever it is for whatever type of businesses it is, and building passive income. Now, if you just stack 3 new licenses a month. And I have a guy that's doing this purely off cold calling right now. And we have a way to get them into their first workshop and then how we upsell them from there. Um, and he's doing this just by cold calling. Guys, at the end of the year, in 12 months, you're earning $69,000 on autopilot. Now, that's not to say there's some attrition there, and you might have four one month and two one month. Yes, I know these numbers can change, but could you see, like, in such a short period of time, what the viability of this method into your business can do? It also might be just like another pillar of income that you have, right? You do what you do on this side, and then you add this as another pillar of income. And $69,000 a month never hurt anybody, especially if you have 4 kids that eat a lot. So, this is a super helpful tool. This is our easy yes offer to get new clients. So screenshot it if you want. This offer has paid me over and over and over and over and over and over again. When people try to complicate it, I'm like, stop. This is the sentence that sells. Okay. If there was a sentence that sold, this is it. If I had to write a 2-page book about the sentence that sold, this would be the sentence that sold. If I helped you add 7 new customers in 1 hour on a Saturday morning, would you want to know the details? And we even add in there when we know what the ad spend is going to be, spending, 200, $300 on Facebook. Like, would you want to know the details? And they're like, yeah, how do we do that? Well, we use our workshop method. We fill your business with the prospects you want. We share with you how to run the event and also how to get them to pay you that day. You just follow the playbook. Does that sound fair? And they say yes. And then we move forward. And that's how difficult it is to get new clients that want to run workshops in their business. I wish it was complicated, guys. I wish it was complicated. I've had people try to take this one sentence and turn it into a paragraph, and I'm like, stop that shit. Just tell them this. I don't know how many times we've sent out a simple text that says, hey, Mr. Martial Arts School owner, if I helped you add 7 new customers in 1 hour on a Saturday morning and we spent about $200 on Facebook, would you want to know the details? They're like, yes. How do I sign up? That's it. And not just martial arts school owners, all kinds of different businesses because it works. And then I'll tell you that one of the beautiful things that we're doing on the B2B side, and this might be sharing too much, I will often overshare, but I get excited about things. But someone asked me this question earlier about like, are we doing this just for businesses to get clients, or am I also doing this to fill my agency? And the answer is I do both. And on the agency events that I do, the B2B ones, like I'm hosting this Friday in Houston, I get sponsors to pay for the whole event. In fact, I get sponsors to pay more than what the event cost me because they're happy to be in the room with those types of business owners. And I haven't had an event this year through May that's going to cost me a penny yet. So basically, I'm getting paid for acquisition at this moment. That's pretty fucking awesome. Um, Chad says it has to be harder than that. I wish it was, Chad. I
Can
wish it was
I
harder than
just
that.
say it's straight up gangster to get paid for acquisition?
It's kind of fucking gangster.
Yeah, that's straight up gangster getting paid for it. Also, I would say like
Um,
part of the magic of this, by the way, is most businesses don't have offers. So that when you guys send them potential clients, They like, I wouldn't use Chili's menu. It's more like Cheesecake Factory. We got 14
Yeah.
to you decide, and we'll give, and that makes it hard for people to move forward. As you think about Rebecca's thing, they have a workshop. You get people in the door, it's like this is the exact offer today to get started. And so there's a clear next step. And most businesses don't know how to make offers. And so when you control that, you eliminate one more reason why they don't know how to close.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I'll also tell you guys on the idea of getting sponsors. Someone says what kind of sponsors are best, and this is a different rabbit hole, but I'll share this idea. It's super damn easy. You just have to get the people, the sponsors that actually matter to the people in the room. That's how easy it becomes. Like, oh yeah, I that person could help my business in whatever type of way. Um, we have insurance guys, we have merchandise companies, we have some different CRM companies, we have bad review companies, like local businesses. You get a bad review on Google, oh man, those motherfuckers, I hate them. Um, Stuff like that. So, Chad says, what advice would you give someone terrified of public speaking or bumbly as Columbo? Guys, like I didn't grow up a natural salesperson at all, like at all, at all. I was, wallflower, hide in the corner, stay away from the crowds. My best friend was the bubbly one that everyone talked to and loved. And so, like, I often tell people that don't like to sell, number one, it's not about you, right? It's like that's almost a selfish type of way to think about it. But two, just follow the script. You don't have to actually do anything because you just have to follow the script. That's all you have to do. And so, since we give them all the tools, they don't have to create anything on their own. They just have to learn the process, record themselves doing it so they feel a little bit more confident. And that's all. Like, it's so damn simple. It's not complicated. Cool. Any other questions here? But, like, seriously, like, screenshot this because it is actually this simple. Would this work for teaching home service businesses how to run ads, build their ad account for them? I'm a bit lost on the implementation. Um, Alex, yes. So, like, there's a couple different ways to do this. You can do it for them where you launch and deploy, right? The assets for them from your own ad accounts, and we have a way that we make it really, really easy. Or you can give them the assets like a sub account in GHL where, you insert UpHux if you would to where they just have to launch the ads from the sub account so that can be like a done with you version. There could be like a done for you version of the licenses. Um, but yeah, it's really simple. The implementation is really, really simple. I wish it was more complicated. It's just not. Does this work for Spanish speaking? Of course it does. 100%. Christian, I would agree with you on that. 100%. Yeah. Don't make it again, like that's our biggest thing is like trying to make something that's really simple complicated. That's what will hold you up. And we just don't do that. It's
Yeah. And
not the
if you
way we
guys, by the
roll.
way, because Rebecca mentioned earlier, high ticket niches, I have some people who do this in like medical niches, and it's not uncommon for
Mhm.
them to put away like 100 to 300 grand in an hour of doing one of these, and they make a group presentation to people, and they'll sign 10 people to $30,000 surgery kind of thing.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys, I was not the inventor of workshops. So my mom is a buyer, and we got invited to all the things where there were like free steak dinners or free pair of steak knives, like all these different things. Like we went to all those events. And then like I remember one specifically at the steakhouse. We're sitting there like where I'm with my mom and my dad. And then they do a presentation about this fire safety system and basically like how your children are going to die in your house if you don't have this fire safety system. And it was like $12,000, which was, in the 90s, that was a lot of money. And guess who bought this fire safety system because they didn't want to like kill me when my parents did, right? From a free steak dinner. And so it's like the same thing, kind of. We just built it in a way like how I built it is how I did it. They did it their way back then, but it's tried and true and will be timeless. Someone asked early, do you have any tax, legal, or business financial services case studies? I missed the answer. Um, no, I don't have any case studies for these things, but yes, it could be done. Well, I take that back. The only one that we do have is life insurance. So yes, we've done this for life insurance. Chiro clinics. This is great for chiro clinics. This is great for chiro clinics. If you guys know our friend Sam, Frankie and our friend Sam, he built his seven-figure agency off of he would just fill the events. He didn't actually give them the assets to run it or close it, but he would fill it for them, and that's how he built his seven-figure agency. Chad, man, you should go to one just to see how they run it. I mean, maybe you end up buying it, but you should go to one just to see how they run it. Yeah, 100%. Good questions, guys. Any that I missed, Frankie, that you saw that I didn't get to? Okay, if you have more questions, just post them in the
No,
chat.
just add just my phone's off. I'm trying to conserve battery, so every time I open,
Okay.
I unlock my screen. I
Ah,
delay.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I was gonna say, you know, Jay Abraham said to me once, he said, everybody thinks I'm this genius because I'm in a lot of different industries and I just look at like what works in one industry and ask myself how I could do it in
This
another.
stop is Warehouse Road.
And he says,
This is
oh, I'm gonna have to mute somebody
Sorry.
there.
Yeah, I got it. I got them for you.
So, he says everybody thinks like I'm this super creative, whatever, but in reality, I just, like make it work. What everybody does all the time in one industry, I copy and paste to another, and then people are blown away that it works. So, like, when you guys say, like, has it been done in financial or has it been done in legal? I actually think it's a huge benefit that nobody else is doing it because if it works in 47 other industries, chances are you're not
Right.
going to be 48 that doesn't work. It just means, you know, people in every industry, without knowing it, unconsciously copy each other, and very few people innovate. And the easiest way, in my mind, to innovate is not to come up with something new. It's just to take some shit that already works somewhere else and then bring it over to your industry, and everyone will think you're this super genius. Like a lot of you guys may not know this, but drive-through lines were invented by pharmacies, and now somebody was smart enough to go, "Hey, we should put that in our fast food restaurant." And when they did, all of a sudden they sold a bunch. Now every fast food restaurant does it, but there was a time where they didn't. Like there was a time where pizza was not delivered, and Domino's was like, "Hey, we should bring that to the kids at the campus who are stoned and don't have driver's license." And so they made all this money selling pizzas. Now every pizza place delivers. So when I say just because nobody does it, like that to me is not a deterrent. That's an extra reason why you should be doing it.
100%. And like when we took this into foot stores, I was shocked. Like no one says, "Hey, we're the foot store agency," right? Like nobody. Until we actually like went to try like this, we had a person that was reaching out, finding these trial customers, and then we found out that at these foot stores, they receive like these demo shoes, right? Like, and they have a stock room full of all these free shoes that they get. And they have a whole process that they do. If you've ever been to one of those foot stores where you stand on the foot thing and they look at the imbalance of your arches, blah, 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 and they tell you why your feet hurt all the time. And then they subscribe these like $500 to $1,500 pairs of shoes. Well, our offer for the workshop was a free pair of orthopedics because they had a shit ton in the back that wasn't doing anything but sitting in there. And we were like, so can we give those one of those away at a workshop? They were like, yeah, 100%. And we were just like, oh, done, sold, closed. Like, and then we just duplicated it over and over within this franchise by giving what they already had in the back that was collecting dust as the offer to attend the workshop. And then they took them through the process of why their feet hurt. And then they sold all these shoes at the workshop in their foot store, like good feet stores. It was crazy. Now everybody should want to be a foot store agency because it's just a beautiful way to run the workshop, get people in, actually solve problems and and sell make sales. And their week of sales that they would usually want to get to in 1 week of sales, we were able to accomplish in an hour, guys. 7 days times 24 hours, we accomplished that in 1 hour in their foot store, and they were just mind blown that that happened. So just an idea. Like it works everywhere. We have a an agency that works in the lawyer space, and he is doing this for divorce lawyers because there's a lot of questions that are wanting to be asked when you want to like are thinking about getting a divorce. Am I like, is that the most like fun way to run a workshop? No, but like it sold the service. Okay, so this dude here, just so you guys have some proof of how this is working. This was 18 and a half collected from new workshops in his first 3 months of selling his workshop in a medical space. He didn't know how to sell. He wasn't out there like spending $1,000 a minute on Facebook ads. He just found some potential prospects, gave them the offer, and this is what he collected in his first 3 months. So yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome from a brand new nobody agency dude to collect 20K in 3 months from a workshop. He's hoping to reach seven figures this year. We'll see if he does it. This was last year, towards the end of the, I guess, Q3. Um, he did it in person, Aaron. Yeah, he did it in person. Now, someone asked, like, can you do this on Zoom? Like, can they be virtual workshops? They can be. Like in COVID times, we did a lot of virtual workshops. But I will say that like what I'm doing is in person. Like, these B2B workshops on the one we're doing in Houston on Friday, like I'm going to Houston. I'll be in the room with them. There's just an element of humanness when you are with people. So not the, and look, I mean, we're doing a virtual workshop in a way right now, you guys are learning about this. You're here from probably a lot of different countries as well. So it's totally possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but most of the time this is in person the way that I build it. So yeah. So, any last questions or thoughts or ideas on this? And then I want to share with something. Is
Can
he
can
in
I
a big
just say real quick
city?
that if you guys want to
Yes.
host your own workshops virtually, I don't think that's a bad idea, but your client's workshop should always be face to face, especially if they're a local business. Like it should be automatic that it's face to face.
Yeah. Someone says, what's the best lead time to a workshop? It used to be 2 weeks. Um, 9 days is when we start the ads. Yes. Is he in a big city? Well, he works with clients everywhere. So like, yeah. He's giving them the assets to run the workshop. So let me clear something up for you. Thank you, for Aaron, for bringing this up. Like, I am not running to all of our clients' workshops and running the workshop for them. They're doing it in their city, in their state. I'm in Lacoste, Texas. I don't live in New York City, right? So they are running it where they live. We give them the assets to run it. Then the owner or a team member runs the whole event. So like yeah, it's really simple. Um, can you give an example to get med spa clients without burning all your med spa client leads? I would think they would stop coming to the workshop since they're going to get pitched. Oh man, med spa is like so easy. We just had someone run a med spa and they had like 34 people in the room and they basically just offered low ticket Botox to get them there. Women love vanity things, right? Like we want to look pretty. And so like it's such an easy space. And then they got them there and they sold them a higher ticket one. And I'll also tell you, here's another secret that in med spas, there's a lot of vendors slash sponsors that want to be at the event when you're filling a room, like because they want to sell their product, that vendor, like, a beauty line or something like that. And so they'll actually pay to help host the event also. We've
Yeah,
seen that happen.
I would just add that the idea that oh, they're going to get pitched, so they're not going to come. I'll tell you right now that most people don't think about this, but any sort of like high ticket sale, that we think of it as black and white a lot, but it's really like shades of gray. And so I'll give you an example, like a real life one is like we're building a property right now, and so if a home builder said to me, "Hey, we got a free workshop to walk you through like the building
Oh,
process," well, I'm already thinking of doing that anyway. And so if I know there's going to be a pitch there, that's not really a deterrent. I want to go to have a safe way to ask my questions and things like that. So you mentioned like the divorce example, right? Like a lot of people are thinking about getting a divorce, but they don't necessarily want to commit to a consultation and hiring an attorney because they still
Yeah.
have questions and objections. And so there's always people what we would call on the fence that are thinking about doing this at any given moment. Like, you know,
Yeah.
for us, for example, like I've been thinking about putting my kids back in another class. I haven't been able to do it. So if somebody had a free workshop, like it's not a deterrent that I'm going to be pitched. It's actually a benefit because I can kind of see what it's like in person. I can feel out the instructor. I can ask my kid, "Do you like this place? Could you see yourself coming here? Would you want to go?"
Right.
And for that reason, like we think of it like, oh no, they're going to get pitched as a deterrent, but they actually expect that and are okay with it because they've probably been thinking about it anyway.
Yeah, 100%. There's so much reciprocity built into this. Like it is not a sleazy sales process at all. We just mentioned Frankie mentioned the divorce lawyer again. I would also add to that a bankruptcy lawyer. If a business or family is like, man, like I think we're hitting the end of the road here, what's going to happen next? And a bankruptcy lawyer ran an event of like, okay, you're gonna survive this, you're gonna live through this, this is what's gonna happen, this is the possibilities, this is the different whatever it is. Like it's super benevolent to that person, right? They're thankful for that information. I'll also add, Frankie, that when we built this house during COVID, we built it because they ran a lunch and learn about building on your land. And that's like, we paid them a lot of money to build this house off of an event, off of a workshop.
Yeah.
Cool.
You knew you were going to be pitched too, right? Like you knew you weren't just going
I
there.
wanted to be. Yeah, 100%. They had an
But it's a
offer.
safe way
We,
for you to feel them out, see who you're going to be working with, ask them questions, get comfortable, like those kind of things happen. And so like a lot of their objections dissolve in the process.
100%. Okay. Any next questions? My mouse is being a little junky, so there it goes. It says connected again. Okay. Why is it being junky today? Um, so guys, I hope this has helped you today. I hope this has um if it hasn't turned some light bulbs on, you have the like, holy crap, this is really possible in the agency world to build a licensing workshop agency. Yes, it is. Yes, it's easy. Um, yes, it could change your life 100%. And so, because you are one of Frankie's friends, that's what I called you. I wrote a little, if you know Frankie in his world, we call him T3s, but it's an offer sheet that says, hey, here's how you can come into Main Street Profit Machine. I will tell you, full disclosure, this year we're not letting anyone in unless I have a friend like a Frankie or a Sam who I say, wow, the people that you surround yourself with, your audience, they're super awesome people because I know who you are. And so we'll allow them to come into Main Street Profit Machine. We're not just selling this to anybody, or inviting you to be a part of this to anybody. In Main Street Profit Machine, and I have the full details for you on a T3. And actually, let me stop share for a sec, and I'll shoot you this doc into the
I
channel.
just say, Rebecca, we appreciate you lowering your standards for us.
And that's why I love Frankie. Um, Frankie and I saw each other in Boise in November, and that was super fun. He wasn't in Mexico, and I'm in Texas. We were like in the same room together. It was pretty cool. So I just posted it, and thank you, Aaron. So actually, I am not the martial instructor. My husband is the badass. He's the jujitsu guy. I'm the brains of the operation. He's the muscle. So okay, so I just shared that doc, and you know what? To make it really easy, I will share it on screen as well. So, and I won't read through this whole thing because I don't want to bore you, but basically, you get to come into our seven-figure agency Main Street Profit Machine course. We understand the problems right now that agencies are going through. I hear it all over the like everywhere. It's so hard to get clients right now. Let me tell you, it is not so hard to get workshop partners. Like it's just so damn easy because of the way we do it. And in this course, I don't want you to think like, oh, I have to figure it out all on my own. No, we actually give you every single tool to build every single step. So we show you how to license it. We give you our local niche scout to make sure that you're finding the right niche. We give you the trial pitch builder. We use Looms, as many of you have heard. Frankie likes Looms. So we use Looms to to get trial partners. We give you a tool to write the workshop copy. We give you the tools how to build the run it part and also advice on the offer, the close it piece. So every single piece, we walk you through it. And in a very Rebecca way, this course is not 50 hours long. Um, Maybe 6. Like it's so easy to build. I've had people that build this within a week. Like it's so easy to build because I don't want you to spend all the time learning about this. I just want you to go out there and find people and deploy this, right? That's my goal. This is not a mastermind in the sense of like, oh, let's like sit together and pray and do kumbaya. Like, no, let's go make money together. Let's get partners. Let's help businesses grow in the local business side and let's help your business grow in return. So if you wanted to like break it up into weeks, like yes, there's like 5 weeks that you could go to, but if you wanted to like do it in a few days, you could absolutely build the whole thing in just a few days. So because you're Frankie's friend, we are offering this course at 1997. Okay. And I'm going to start a full 8 week live calls for you guys starting Thursday at noon. So once you come into this course, you'll be able to join me on Zoom every Thursday, noontime, Central Standard Time, for 8 weeks. And we'll make sure that you get this deployed into your agency. Like you're not going to do this alone. We're going to do this together, but we're going to do it quickly, like as fast as we can go. Some folks are a little bit slower, some folks are a little bit faster. I actually have a t-shirt that once you sign your kind of commitment card, I send you a t-shirt that says money loves speed because that's what I believe. Money loves speed, but speed loves simplicity. So we have to keep this shit simple. And there's a link in this doc if you guys see it. If you need a to pay, I'm happy to help you with that. I didn't include that link, so just let me know. You can find me on Messenger. I'll put my email in the box as well, so you have it there. Of course, Frankie has this doc as well. He can help you with anything, but we can offer a to pay if you need it. So go through this, make sure this is the right place for you. But in my mind, there's not a place where workshops are not viable and helpful and like built for the agency success, but also built for the local business owner's success. So yeah, it's 100% like freaking awesome
Can I
in my
just say,
mind.
add to that, guys, that like Rebecca and I never even really discussed any sort of affiliate or whatever. Like I brought her on because I genuinely believe that if you guys sell workshops, both for yourselves and for your clients, you'll fill both of your shit faster and easier because it's a lot easier. You know, we actually I ran an experiment back in the day where I had a client who was crushing it with like a referral thing. And so we ran a referral workshop and he made like 50 grand from his little referral workshop. And we actually, on his behalf, I hired a cold caller, just a guy from Fiverr actually. And he called local businesses. And you guys know how difficult cold calling is in general. But we were cold calling for an invite. Hey, we think you're super cool. We want you to come to our referral event. It's, Saturday at, 2 p.m. or whatever. I don't, like whatever the details were. And it was surprisingly super easy to cold call about because we weren't trying to sell them, hey, go buy my shit. We were selling them, hey, come to this thing and we'll get together. And so I've had my own experience with seeing how easy workshops are to fill because it's a lower barrier to sale. Like we don't realize a lot of agency services are the digital equivalent of you walk up to the pretty girl on the street and you say, "Hey, you're awesome. I want to marry you. Have 6 of your babies. We're gonna go to Disneyland every year." And it's like they just don't know you.
Whoa.
They're not ready to commit to $2,500 a month, till the end of time without knowing something about you. And so, and it's the same for their clients. So the more you do, like, hey, have a workshop where you can ask questions, where you can feel the person out, where you can find out more about it. You just lower the barrier. And then for your clients, the other thing is part of the reason they suck at conversion, as I mentioned, is they don't know how to make offers. They don't know how to make offers for what the event would be about. And they don't know how to make offers for here's what you should buy next. And so when you guys control those variables, what you do is you eliminate a lot of your clients, for lack of a nicer way of saying it, like sales stupidity where they like, like, hey, like I've seen it where actually, like a personal example, I can remember an attorney. he was talking to was a potential $1 million case. And at the end of it, the person said, "Well, I think I might just do this myself." And he said, "Well, if you change your mind, call me back." And there's a lot of reasons why in that industry you shouldn't do it. But uh, say shit like that because like insurance companies will fuck you over $1 million case in 1,000 different ways, and you don't want to navigate the legal system without knowing it. Um, and he should have like said that, but clients do stupid shit like that all the time. I've seen. I can actually remember listening to one law firm call where the lady actually said, "I'm just a lunch person. I actually don't know any of the questions you're asking. Could you maybe just Google lawyers and like call somebody else on the list, and I'm sure they can help you." And she like literally sent them to the competition. And so when you have them invite to a workshop and then you control the offer, you eliminate a lot of this the stupidity that they do to like push leads away and then tell you they're bad, and you control the controllables, and as a result you'll have your clients be more successful because they don't know how to get people in the room with them. They don't know how to make offers, but they usually do know how to talk about their thing. Like if it's a dentist, they know how to answer questions about teeth. If it's a home builder, they know how to tell you like what kind of tiles and windows they're going to put in. They're just not salespeople, and so that's like the big thing we're eliminating. And I've said this with growing your own agency, there's a trust factor that can't be replicated face to face. Um,
100%.
that if they meet you just one time, they're far more likely to convert. So for those of you guys who are like trying to start an agency quickly, like I've told a lot of you guys, go meet them, go to the networking meetings because you'll close faster simply on the basis that they can touch you, they can smell your farts and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't recommend smelling your farts, but they can if they want. So this is my way of saying like workshops just fucking work. And what Rebecca has done for you guys is if you want to capitalize on that, is systematize it and made it stupid simple to write ads, fill them, hand out offer sheets, and do it in like a systematic way. And have your clients make more money in an hour than they used to make, trying to call 75 leads badly.
100%. Like 100%. And I have a friend who's like really, 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 really deep into AI and AI tools and AI SaaS and like all the things AI. And I asked him a question about some market research with AI, and he was like, "Oh, but blah 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 blah," and it went into this whole hour-long spiel of like my simple question. And I said, "Man, I'm just running these like simple face-to-face workshops. Like that's how dumb it is." And he was like, "Oh, AI can't beat that." And I was like, "That's what I thought." And he was like, "Yeah, like the guy who's like super intelligent on AI, he's like, yeah, AI can't beat that. Not yet. Maybe one day." Um, and so, like, we're solving so many problems for the business owner, but on the agency side, we're solving so many problems for you because, as I said before, I know a lot of agency folks, and they're like, "Man, it's just getting harder and harder to get clients right now, especially with the AI, in the atmosphere." And I'm like, "Dude, just offer a workshop. Just offer to add customers. Like, just do that." And then they're like, "Rebecca, we came back," like they come back to me and they're like, "We just added 3 new clients this week with this offer." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's that damn simple."
We sell for less.
Um, David, all of it. So we templatize like 80% of it for you so that you just take what we have and run the last lap around the track. Yeah, we made it really simple for you. We put a lot of effort into and thought into like what's the simplest way to get to the finish line of building this out and then running it into the market. Can you guys see me? My computer keeps telling me to close my browser. Where's Aaron? Aaron,
Can
I
I
see a
just tell
bunch of
you,
different pages.
as a bonus to this, by the way, we just got electricity back. So yay over here.
Yay! Look at that. Um, Aaron, I don't know where you are in all of these little screens. Okay, someone found you. They said yes, they can see you. Oh, there you are, Aaron. Yes, I can see you. Yeah. Any other questions? Someone also asked me like, "Well, do you need like a shit ton of tools to run this?" No, no, you do not. All does everyone here already use high level? Like most everybody? Because if you have that, okay, perfect, then you can literally deploy this. Hey, David, I remember. 100% this would be awesome for your niche. 100%. Jen says, no GHL, is that what we need? Yes, I use GHL for using this, and we'll show you how we do it, and you can see exactly how that works. If you have a different CRM, I'm not saying it couldn't work in that way, but it's how we like duplicate it for our people. So glad to see you again, David. I hope that review last week in Sam's group was helpful to you. You had the medical niche, I remember. I think we might have lost Frankie because it says I'm the host now. So guys, just to like, because I know we have a thread happening, I'm going to copy some stuff here for you. Um, it's the one-time pay link and the two-time pay link if you need it, plus also this little Google Doc, this fancy Google Doc that has all the details. CPAP, that's right, CPAP. Yep, 100%. We have someone doing it right now in the like they're literally hosting a workshop. Is it this weekend or next weekend for dental implants, David? I know that's like a different angle, but very, very um, similar. So you'll get immediate access to the course. Like as soon as we see that you're in, we'll add you into Circle and you can do it as fast as you want to do it. And then every Thursday at noon Central Standard Time, we jump on Zoom for an hour and we dissect little pieces of it to make sure that it is all moving forward correctly. Um, And how we sell the license, it's all built into it. Like we only sell licenses. That's all we sell. And so we wrap it in what I feel is the better way for agencies to sell without bringing on all the headache of like done for you delivery agency where you have to be their business savior. Like we don't want to do that. We just want to license them the tools. We want to do exactly what we say we're going to do. We want them to say do what they're going to do, and we want this to work. And then they pay rental licensing fees every month. Does the course come with a pre-built list of existing niches, giveaways, recommended offers? Yes, so we have some that are already built in there. And then we have our local niche kind of like identifier, our local niche scout. And this will tell you like, hey, this is works really great over here. Hey, this like you might run into these challenges with this niche here. So we really break it down. Um, do we help them with the offer? I find that most people need help with their offers. Yes, most businesses. So yeah, we kind of build it in, but that's after like what we know their market does, what's working, what's not working, and then we adjust it with them and then we built it into our licensing package and now it becomes our offer. Um, what kind of assets? The full presentation. So like from filling it, like the ad copy, the images, the nurture sequences, like all of that, to um the running it piece where we give them the scripts, the assessment forms, the videos or slides, the closing sheets, like the offer sheets. We give them all the tools. We don't want them to use their brain power. We just want to give them all the tools because we know that they work and yeah, that's what we give them. And you're like you're being incredibly benevolent to these business owners who do not know most of the time how to sell. Like I don't know how many times I've heard from business owners, "Oh, if the lead comes in the door, I'll close them." And then you look at their stats, like always look at the real numbers and you look at the stats and it's like 1 for 15 and you're like, "Buddy, like how did this happen?" One was just luck. Like I'm not
I
even
got a
going to
funny
give you
story on
credit
that.
for that.
I, I made 40 grand because a lawyer told me that exact line. He said, we get 100% of the case. If it's a lead we want, we close them. So I called his office 5 minutes later and I recorded the call and I just said, "Hey, my name's Frankie. I hurt my back in an accident." And I let his staff fumble and bumble me as a lead and I recorded it and sent it to him. And I said, "Do you still think you close 100% of the leads?" And then he turned around and said, "We need to pay you to fix this." And it was his idea to arrive at 40 grand. But I wanted to add, Rebecca, a lot of you guys follow me because you're excited by Loom videos. And I've tried to explain to people that the real magic of a Loom video is that we're creating a valuable offer and then demonstrating it. Like that's the secret sauce. It's not like video itself. I always say like if I had a treasure map on a piece of paper, you're not buying the piece of paper, you're buying the treasure map behind it. What Rebecca has done with the physical handout is like the equivalent of the Loom methodology. It's just like it's in old school, this thing they got called pen and paper, this like print form where you hand it out and let the people decide. But we're controlling that piece by controlling the client's offer and essentially like doing like a Loom video where instead of that client have to be good at pitching, now they're just handing out an offer and they can simultaneously be pitching 20 different people at once and doing it well because you've controlled it. So if you guys really think like what the magic of a Loom video is, like that's what you're doing for your clients. You're just doing it in like kind of old school kind of sales letter version.
Yeah. And we actually use looms, like a little bit of Frankie's methodology to get your workshop clients. Um, we just give them the offer with the loom and bam, closed. It is not a difficult sale in any type of way because we're not selling them, we're helping them. We're solving a lot of problems. And so it's a really damn easy offer. Frankie, I'm glad you're back. You made it.
Yeah. Can I just add if you I still don't have internet yet. I just got electricity, so my phone's not gonna die. But
Okay.
oh no, I just brain farted on what I was gonna add there. So I guess it can't be that important.
Um, any other questions, guys? Sometimes these get lost in the chat. So if I missed your question or didn't answer it, post it in the chat because I've got a little bit of more time and I want to make sure that we cover all of your questions. Um, if you're not running workshops right now in your agency, you're losing money. I'll say that. And it's very, very possible that the local business that you, whatever niche you serve, they're also losing clients. Because it's so damn easy. And the deliverables are so damn easy. And the way we license it is so damn easy. Like it's all really easy. And then we just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and sell that shit over and over again. And then once you learn how to build it out in one niche, you'll see how easy it is to build it out in multiple niches. And you might have 3 different workshop models that you license. Um, yes, so you can. We have some people that do some like that have some really high ticket offers, like they're 15K plus and they'll take a percentage of sales as well. They'll charge for the workshop up front, but then they'll take a percentage of sales. So it's totally possible. Frankie, I'll add to your story about how you went in and closed sales for them. So I have a friend who's closely connected to me, who's a media buyer, and so he gets a lot of the whole, your leads suck stuff. And he'll actually, because he has full access, he built his media buying around our licensing methodology. So he has full access to everything, and he'll go in there and be like, okay, my leads suck. Let me see what sales I can, conjure up from these leads, and we'll just go and crush their sales and then just kind of like lovingly put it in their face a little bit. Like you said, these leads sucked, but like I just closed all these sales for you. So like what actually sucks?
Yeah, funny little story on that, Rebecca, but Jeff Miller, because he runs a bunch of Facebook ads, he has a
Hmm.
GHL automation that goes out and says anytime they miss a call, which by the way, businesses miss half their calls on average, he sends a text notification that says someone called trying to give you money and your staff didn't answer. And every time they miss a call, they get a text notification that says that. But with this kind of thing,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that kind of thing because
Yeah.
we have there's so many workarounds to try and do um, cover up the fact that clients are just bad at closing leads. And the best thing to do is get them face to face so they can answer questions about their thing, help them put together a demonstration, and then control the offer. That's really what a Loom video is, just so you guys know. It's a demonstration. It's a little bit about here's how the process works, and then it's an offer. And like that's all she's doing as a face-to-face workshop is like it's just an elongated version of what I would call a Loom video. And it's the same basic methodology and it makes it super easy to control And as mentioned, the secret sauce of all of that is like you're having a reason for people to come to the workshop and you have an offer that makes it easy for them to get started. And doing so eliminates a lot of having to, AI voice solutions and setters and,
Yep.
notifications and warm call transfer and all this nonsense people do that like just fucking get them face to face. And they don't like the dentist doesn't suck about talking about teeth if you get him face to face. He just sucks calling leads, doing it over the phone, selling his services, etc.
Yep. Yep. David says, when prospects for new clients for workshops, in my case, dentists, is it more effective to run Facebook ads or do VSL outreach Frankie style? Well, I won't ever bash anything Frankie does because his stuff is legit, but I'll tell you that we use Facebook ads. So not saying that the other couldn't work.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't do a lot of outreach. I don't know how I answer a lot of questions about outreach because you guys ask it to me. But my way is I always start by finding everybody in the industry who's got a buying audience, and then I co-create stuff with them, and it creates a lot of inbound, and then I close people over video. I like doing everything one to many. So I teach people how to do a lot of one to one because everybody asks me about it. But just so you guys know, I don't do any of that shit personally.
Yeah. One to many is literally where it's at. It's where all the leverage is at, guys. Like you're giving them so much leverage, but then when you do this in your own agency, and David, I just realized I read your question backwards. Like, yes, for prospecting, we're using a VSL or Loom as you would Frankie style, correct? Can you use Facebook ads also? Of course you can, but like, yeah, it's really easy. And then, like, for selling workshops, it is also very easy to get to bring in those business owners to a Zoom like this and show why what they're doing sucks and how workshops solve that problem, and then giving them an offer from there and having a one-to-many approach there as well. So, yeah, one-to-many is literally where it's at. Yes, correct. David, sorry, I confused your question there. Cool. Matt, I think I answered your question, Arderell. Awesome. Any last questions? I'm so glad my dog Ranger didn't cause a fit today. Usually he's barky. He behaved. Okay. Frankie, any last words here?
No, just appreciate you coming on here and doing this. And if you wouldn't mind just
Absolutely.
sending me the recording of this after for the folks who are in Australia or couldn't make it and that kind of stuff.
I think Rebecca froze. Is Rebecca still here? Thank you.